Well, here we go again. My name's Taft Mitchell, and I'm a part of this congregation at Community of Hope Church, and glad to be so. Teaching a class right now called the Contextual Jesus. And not necessarily all about history, but this last week we really dealt with quite a bit of history. And we talked about Constantine, the first of the Roman emperors to take the pressure of persecution off of the Christians and to accept the faith himself and to legitimize Christianity. And so for most of us, that's about all we know. And he's a bit of a hero and a bit of a good guy who saw the light and did what he should. But some of the effects of what Constantine did after he accepted Jesus were really deleterious to the church. Deleterious, is that a new word? They weren't good for the church. How's that? For example, before Constantine, the church was essentially a home church movement. It was in homes. It was very, very participatory. Everyone came and they all participated together. There was no preacher, and you didn't have the Sunday sermons. It was radically different than what we have today. Constantine said, no, you need to have temples. Everybody's had temples up to this time. Let's get you some temples. And so he began a large building project of building churches for the church. The consequence of that has been long-lasting and not good, because it relegated the people of the church to the position of being an audience. And if you're an audience, then you also need to have people who are in charge and who are up front and teaching and doing all that. That is when the clergy thing started. Special people set aside, special names, special clothing, all of this. And suddenly we had a special group of people telling the rest of the people how the faith was to be practiced. And there were other effects as well. So historically, Constantine gave to us the shape of the church as we experience it today. And I honestly would love to go back to that initial church, the first 300 years, meeting in small groups and in homes with everyone involved and everyone participating. But what would that look like? So this Sunday, I'm going to move on from Constantine. And we're going to talk about the greatest commandment and the only commandment that Jesus really gave to the church, and that was to love each other. Or more completely, you can't just say to people, love each other. It doesn't have any shape, any form. So God gave it shape and form. He said, love me first and do it with all of your heart, soul, mind, and strength. What does it look like to love God with all of your mind? We never think about that. What does it look like to love him with all of your soul? How is that different from loving him with all of your heart? And what do those look like as well? And once we get that figured out, it begins to shape the kind of people we become and the way that we relate to each other. But in the beginning, we have to redefine what love means. In American culture, it means so many different things. And that's not really what God was talking about. And that's not what Jesus commanded. So that's what we're going to do this Sunday. And I confess to you, usually I'm hyper prepared. I have no idea exactly how this is going to go this Sunday. I do know that everybody in the class is going to really have a good chance to talk, to give input, to come to some consensus, and to look to the future together. I think that is a good thing. See you then.